All right, guys. I know Free Market is having some technical difficulties with his phone, so we're going to have to probably just get the show started without him. I would wholly expect to see him pop in here any minute now, but I don't want to keep you guys waiting. You know, we always try and give 5 minutes to file in. Normally, there's some good tunes playing before. I'm going to have to figure out how he does that with such good quality. But for now, let's just get the spaces started. I wanted to welcome everybody to Moon Monday number 24. Last week, of course, we had the conjoined Moon Monday and Terrestrial Thursday on July 7th. That was the Thursday to let everybody enjoy their July 4th celebration. So I hope everyone had a good weekend then, and of course, a good weekend this past weekend. I'm really excited to be back here on a Monday with you guys. And let's start breaking down just some of the minor announcements that we've had in the Discord over the last week. So, what's been going on? Well, since the last time that we held a space, we mentioned that the home base was going live, and live it went. So far, everybody's had a great time jumping in there. Now, of course, this is the foundation of our base building game. So, we're not quite at the base building phase of things yet, but you do get a chance to take a look at the layout. Now you're going to be able to check out your squad of wolves. You're going to be able to organize them into your group of three. And of course, we put all of the hit points, the HP, to all of the wolves. Those, of course, range from 1600 for the most rare generative wolves down to about 900 for the most common ones. And we actually just rejigged the one of one HP as well. There was a little bit of a bug going on with that, and that was something that just happened in the last few minutes. I think I saw the devs chatting away about that. But so far, it's been really great to see everybody sharing their teams, making some of the most aesthetic looking teams. The highest HP ones. People have been theory crafting with, of course, the trait light paper that went up, which all of those different traits on your Star Wolves are going to have different advantages in terms of what you're trying to achieve, and of course your play style. Some PvP advantages, some mining missions, all of that great stuff is going to factor in. And we're really excited to see what people continue to come up with. So if you've been playing around in the home base and you've been putting together different squads, make sure you're sharing them on Twitter. We'll give them a shout out. We'll interact with them. Show us in the Discord. Just have a lot of fun with that. And of course, once we welcome a lot of people into a newer feature of the game, there is always the challenge of some bugs here and there. As much as we try and tackle them all in the test server before, um, you know, there's just so many different browsers, so many different phones, so many different computers that people use with different settings. And sometimes with that comes a variety of different issues. But the devs have been incredibly hard at work listening to all of the critiques, the feedbacks, and of course the bugs to be able to get those fixed as quickly as possible. So that was really great. And it's been really fun to see that kind of come to fruition. Of course, I think most of you have probably figured it out now, but the dashboard is still live within that. Okay. So you're going to click on the little stopwatch thing it's towards the top left of the screen, or the side left. And that will open the dashboard that you guys have been accustomed to using over the last month. Of course, make sure you keep those streaks alive. Make sure you continue to complete the objectives in there too, because we're always adding to those as well. We also took the liberty, based on some feedback, to reorganize the way that the dashboard objectives are laid out for you guys. So we put the newest ones up at the top first, so that all of the wolves that have been in there so diligent completing all of the tasks don't have to scroll all the way down to the bottom every time they're looking for some new ones. So we hope that little organizational change will be, a big benefit to the quality of life for you guys. We also last week did our Terrestrial Thursdays. We had a great conversation with the founder of DeFi Mons, Stitch. It was a great conversation about, his background in crypto, his background in gaming, P2E gaming. And one of the things I really love about these conversations is just we always seem to find these other projects that are just so aligned with the values of Star Wolves and what we're trying to achieve, right? Which is to create something bigger, something long lasting, and something that's just really high quality that people enjoy playing. They look forward to playing beyond just the simple concept of earning money to log in and do something, right? The underlying essence of all of this is that we want to create a game that you guys consider to be a game first, right? Not just DeFi or P2E, right? We always refer to it as play and own. And I think that's really important that we band together with these other projects to kind of, work with them, have that discussion, further the narrative in this space rather than just sitting on the sidelines and doing our own thing, right? Like a rising tide lifts all ships, absolutely. So we're always excited to find these other projects that are willing to talk and willing to have that discussion, and of course think along the same lines that we do here at Star Wolves. You guys are all over the place in finding new projects, new things to look at. So of course I'm always in the Discord. If you find something that you think kind of aligns with the Star Wolves ethos, not even just necessarily in the sense of a partnership, but just something that we can have that conversation with, by all means, please suggest it to me. I'll try and reach out to the team, or if you have connections there, just make that connection and we'll figure it out from there, because these conversations are so valuable. And plus you get to learn about another project too, right? Like Star Wolves isn't the only NFT project in the ecosystem. We're always looking for new and fun things to have. Of course, if you've been in the Discord and you've been paying attention to the minor announcements, speaking of other projects, we have partnered with Kumaverse. This one was really exciting too, because they are creating a really cool banner creator. And much like the scientists for the kaijus, we are going to have some items that you're going to be able to use in the banner creator for being a Star Wolves holder. If you haven't seen this yet, I did pin their tweet up at the top, so make sure you go show that post some love. Maybe go howl in the comments, give it a retweet, and share the things that we've been doing here, because I don't know if you guys have saw the banner post that Charlie put in the minor announcements yesterday, but it looks fire. And if you like high quality pixel art, as I'm sure we all do, that one is pretty amazing. So I am pumped for that. And of course, we will be continuing to talk to Kumaverse behind the scenes, as we always like to be able to integrate and have as many different partner projects that we can work with and rely upon in both directions to create those relationships. Because I think coming out of this bear market of NFTs, these projects that remain active, remain collaborating, and remain building these relationships with one another, they're really going to be the recipients of a good cycle, right? We always say that these bear markets are when builders build, and I know that probably sounds corny, and you've probably heard it a million times, but we're going to keep saying it again and again and again. Every day we are active, building stuff behind the scenes, and man, the devs and the team are just hard at work delivering all of that great stuff for you. Speaking of development, we are getting really close to the final stages of PvP. We're actually building the UI right now as we speak. We're creating a light version of it so that we can get some testers in. You know that we always love to feed off of the community to bring people in that have been great supporters of Wolves. Of course, the Genesis crew. So we're going to figure out a way to get some people in testing that PvP on the light UI. And of course, we're building the full UI for the launch of it. There's a lot of inner workings when it comes to PvP, a matchmaking system, and requiring, multiple people to be using buttons and stuff all at the same time. So this one is going to take a little bit of testing to make sure that we get it right for you guys. But PvP has always been a really, really fun aspect of the Star Wolves Discord. And of course, as we port those games over, PvP right now is our highest priority. So I'm excited for this to launch. I'm excited to participate in some of the PvP, and I'm excited to see some of you battle it out in real time. Well, that one games day that we had in the Discord, we were having some PvP battles in there, and we were doing some live commentary at the same time. And I believe it was Slade that was in there, and like, man, that guy was a natural. He was just, it was like I felt like I was watching an NBA game with the professional level quality in there. So maybe maybe that's something to explore as well. It's always fun to try and make it a spectator sport. Um, on that note, I think that's most of the. Oh no, sorry. There is another riddle coming up that will be dropping in the Discord soon too. I know that that has been in design and very exciting. Of course, that last riddle had everybody working really hard, and I think the Wolves solved that really, really fast. And I know everybody had a lot of fun doing that. I was unfortunately away that day, so I didn't get to watch it go down in real time. But I know everybody was really impressed with the resolve of the Wolves to figure out the riddle. So if you guys enjoyed that one, there is another one on the way. On that note, we will jump into the actual Moon Monday announcement. So you guys are going to get another Medium article, as we like to drop, and give you some big outlines about what's to come. But this one is really exciting because we are incredibly excited to announce that we're doing another community bounty. I'm just going to pull up the Medium article here. You guys will see that in the Discord and in the tweet shortly. But if you're listening in live, of course, you're going to get the advanced notice. So if you're in the Discord, make sure you get everybody else in here to come check this out. And this, of course, is recorded as well, and we will have that up on YouTube for you later this evening. But the tagline is Community Bounty number 2, Alliances Game Mode. We have been giving a tip from the others, or maybe they're testing us. Honestly, we're not sure these days, but they didn't fail us in getting us off the earth. So let's run with it. Essentially, we are going to be tasking the community with helping us design a brand new game mode that involves alliances. There's going to be a lot of moving parts with this. It will be a completely fresh game style that you see, but it will, of course, involve teaming up with your fellow wolves. And this is really, really excited because we always talk about the idea of having alliances, having guilds, how they're going to play in it, how we're going to work together with our fellow wolves and also compete with other alliances, of course, with the overall goal of universal domination. So I'm going to outline the tasks that you are going to have. And of course, again, once this Medium article is dropped, you'll be able to see it all. So you will be able to decide on the game mode, limitations, the Stardust and resource burn. You'll be able to decide on the taxonomy or naming conventions for the game mode, decide on the payout and burn ranges for the missions and raids, decide on the time frame for raids, loyalties of areas an alliance owns, and you may work in teams, but if you win the bounty, you will have to share the spoils of the reward fairly with your fellow teammates. Now, one of the things I mentioned that your probably interest is piqued on is the areas of your alliance owns. So we are going to be making a galactic kind of board where the teams that you form are going to be able to take over and own different areas of the Star Wolves universe. And of course, you will be able to expand, take over other ones. They will have different resources attached to them. But by and large, what we want to do is give you the overarching idea of what we're going to build and then letting your imaginations run wild with it. If you go back to the traits bounty that we did earlier on, just after the mint happened, we really rewarded the people that thought outside of the box. A lot of people did a great job of just taking the whole trait list, creating some really unique ideas about how the traits could play into the game. But our winner actually really just took the whole concept of it and ran with it, and really just let his imagination run wild. It was a lot of different themes outside of just the traits, with different environments, different atmospheres, how they would play in. There was boosts. Sorry, there were buffs and debuffs involved in it, and it really kind of opened a lot of our thought process on what we could be doing with this game. So again, once you get this Medium article, you are going to have a really great outline of what we're looking to achieve. But we're really looking for people to take those ideas and just expand with it in some really crazy ways. Of course, that doesn't mean that we are going to use every single idea that the winner does, but it is like just it's a great way of just sourcing out some fresh sets of eyes, some really great ideas that the community has. And we say this time and time again. We are always in the Discord listening to those ideas. And so many of the things that we come up with, whether it's just a tiny quality of life improvement on the dashboard, or just some really crazy out there idea, or a way to organize the Discord a little bit better, like those are all taken into consideration. Again, we don't always implement them right away, but we do consider everything that people are saying, and this one will be no different. I'm happy to announce that there's going to be a first, a second, and a third place reward on this. And as I kind of hinted out before, you can work on this solo if you want, but if you really want to create a robust and well-rounded game plan for alliances, you're probably going to want to work with another person or two, really just to build it out, flesh it out. And it's always great to have somebody to bounce ideas off of, because you can really just get in your own head about how something has to be. But when you have somebody that can challenge you in a good way about a lot of those ideas you're thinking about, it always works out for the best. And of course, the game mode is called Alliances, so why wouldn't you want to work with somebody else on this? But let's get back to the prizes that I mentioned. For first place, we are going to be giving out a half an ETH, 0.5 ETH. We're going to give out 2 Star Wolves from the community Star Wolves wallet. We are going to be giving out whitelist spots for the blobs, and that will be 1 allow list per person. And then we are going to be giving away allow lists for redacted. In second place, we're going to be giving out 0.2 ETH and 1 wolf from the community wallet. Of course, we are also going to give that team allow list for the blobs and allow list for redacted. And in third place, we are going to be giving out 0.1 ETH, 1 wolf, and 1 allow list for the blobs. So, the turnout for the last community bounty was fantastic. I'm really, really looking forward to what you guys come up with in terms of the alliances, and it's going to be great. All right, guys. On that note, this one is obviously a little bit shorter. I think Free Market is definitely having some issues trying to get into the Twitter space or with his phone. But if anybody wants to come up and hang out with us or ask a question, I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with any of the Wolves or anybody that's new to Star Wolves in the audience. You want to check it out. You want to react to anything that I mentioned in the Moon Monday announcements, and have that conversation. Of course, we are going to be doing the Terrestrial Thursday this week back to our original time at 4 p.m. Eastern. Of course, last week it was at 2 p.m. So fear not, we will move it back to the original time. Sometimes we have to be a little bit flexible, and our guest had requested that we did it a little bit earlier, but also never a bad thing to just switch it up, see if you can get a different viewership. I know a lot of people in Europe, or especially the Asian time zones, get left in the stardust, so to speak, in terms of how things are scheduled in Web3. It seems to be a lot of West Coast and East Coast time zone favoritism. So, if you guys have a strong opinion on some other times that we can be hosting this stuff, again, it's always recorded. There's always the ability for for people to catch back up on it and listen to it, so nobody will ever just miss one of the live shows. It just might not be live at the time. All right, guys. On that note, if there are nobody if there's nobody asking to jump up on stage with us, which is perfectly fine, we are going to start to wrap this up. But as I like to always say, and I've said it a couple times in here, come interact with us in the Discord. Come have fun. I mean, there has been a ton of great stuff going on in the Discord. And I got to shout out, Sam and Cass and all of those guys that have been providing so many opportunities to Star Wolves holders in the form of the alpha and the allow lists and the different discords to get into, because they have been pumping out some incredible information. Of course, whenever you're in there and you're looking at that stuff, it should be, do your own research and at your own risk. But, having access to information is always important, especially in a fast moving space like crypto and NFTs. But I do just want to remind everyone that when you are clicking buttons and stuff like that, you do have to be very, very careful with what you do. We all do our best to do research and provide accurate information. But at the end of the day, you are your last line of defense against malicious stuff. And of course, you always want to protect those valuable Star Wolves as well as the valuable ETH you have in your wallet when it comes to minting. With the degen mints been in full force and the free mints and whatnot, there have been some unfortunate incidences. Fortunately, not too many in the Star Wolves ecosystem that I've seen, but it's always advisable when you're doing these mints and stuff like that, have yourself a secondary burner wallet in MetaMask. I mean, MetaMask is free to create a new wallet, and if you make sure that you're segmenting your different things and you're clicking links and connecting your wallets to stuff that you're not 100% sure is safe, connecting from a burner wallet is always the best way to give yourself an extra layer of defense in this time. It's so easy to get caught up in FOMO, in hype cycles, and just start aping into things that somebody else sees and shares and gets excited. But you always got to make sure that your MetaMask wallet is safe. So to finish it off, guys, Moon Monday, we have the community bounty for alliances. You are going to have the Medium article very, very shortly, and you are going to be able to get to work on that if you feel like participating. Of course, I'm really, really looking forward to the discussion that's in the Discord, you guys thinking about stuff, theory crafting, and of course, with the home base, come show us the wolves that you have. If you haven't been in the Discord for a while, there's still tons of activity, still tons of stuff going on, and it's always a great time. So we are going to wrap this up, guys. We will see you in the Discord. Thank you so much. Happy Moon Monday, and we'll see you again on Thursday.